Have you ever wondered what West Calgary, the Quadrant, has to offer? This video is a part of my 8-video series called Touring Calgary. I will virtually go through every quadrant and share my thoughts with you. Hi, my name's Fyfe, and I create value-driven content to help educate you and the people you know about Calgary real estate. Please consider subscribing and browsing through the channel to find other relatable topics that could help you now or later in life. So let's get into it. So West Calgary has 28 communities, and just like every other quadrant, it's still expanding. So here's a community map for 2022, and for today's video, we're going to concentrate on the orange right here, which is West Calgary. Now, I'm going to take this one step further and actually give you an outline of where this is on Google Maps. So how this is going to work is we're actually going to start up here on the north side and look at the Bow River. Now, from the Bow River, we're going to go to the Ring Road, drop all the way down to the highway, go all along the highway, drop down to the Bow River again, and then when we get to the city, it gets a little bit weird here, where you go into the city all the way to 37th. We go all the way down 37th. We go back up Richmond. We go over to Crowchild Trail. We come down Crowchild Trail here, go in through North Glenmore. Then we actually come down through the Glenmore Reservoir and basically just lap it all the way back, going through the highway, going underneath here, and then zooming out, and then shooting straight back up all the way to the Bow River once more. So just like my previous videos, I will start with the pros of the quadrant and end with some of the cons. So to kick off the pros here for West Calgary, we will need to talk about the two universities, and that being Ambrose University as well as Mount Royal University. Now, Ambrose University offers accredited degrees in arts and science, education, and business. Their seminary offers graduate level degrees and programs in ministry, theology, and Bible studies. These disciplines are united by the quest for knowledge, wisdom, virtue, and service. Now, moving right along to Mount Royal University, or MRU to some locals here. But MRU offers 12 different degrees and 36 majors at the time of this recording. Both universities offer great programs and are both worth looking into if you are considering a new school. Now, moving right along, we will see that there's actually a C train in West Calgary, which does happen to come right off Bow Trail here. You can see this little sign. Then it comes right up 17th with a stop here. Goes all the way up 17th. This is actually quite a large hill that goes all the way up here to the first stop. Now, the nice thing about this transit is that it will end up connecting to the new ring road that's being constructed. So this has been long overdue, but you can see from this area here to this area here, if we actually click on the satellite view, you can start to see some of the construction that is going on in this area. This is basically paved now, so if you actually come and drive down through this area, you will see the road that goes up. I don't remember the exact completion date off the top of my head, but it is within the next year or two, and it is very exciting because this is going to change a lot of people's lives up here, and we'll talk about that in the cons. But the ring road is actually one of the most important pieces of roadway in all of Calgary because it does connect the city all the way around and provides very quick, easy access to different areas of town without having to go through these main arteries right in the city. So one of the things that I really do like about West Calgary is the views. Now, depending where you are, you can't really tell, but this is actually kind of a ridge, if you would. It's a little bit of a brow. So if you're on the east side of the brow, you get a really good view of downtown Calgary. And if you're on the southern portion here, you get a really good view of, the prairies all down in this area and starting to get into these mountains. Now, if you're on the west side of the brow, you get an absolutely magnificent view of the Rocky Mountains here on the west side. So depending on where you are within West Calgary, the views are magnificent. Now, I do like the amenities in West Calgary because there are quite a bit of things going on down here. But one of the things that I will bring up in the con is just how far of a distance that is for some people. The cool thing about West Calgary as well is you do get some pretty large homes. So West Calgary is the most expensive quadrant in all of Calgary. So you will get some very large homes and some very large lots. So depending on what you would like from your lifestyle or what your budget is, you can get some really nice homes, Aspen Woods, West Springs, and Springbank Hill here. All in all, West Calgary is an absolutely beautiful quadrant. They've got a lot of green space here. They've got a lot of really nice homes, very nice communities, very put together, and a lot of things kind of going on within these suburbs. All right, so those things were all amazing, but how about those cons? And now let's remember that this is only a personal opinion. It wouldn't be a very good overview unless I shared some of the cons about West Calgary. And to be honest, I really don't have too many cons of West Calgary. So if you see this and there's something that you absolutely dislike, please let me know. But for the very first one, I'm going to touch on some of the access for these people going to Highway 1. So anyone who's looking to go west right now either has to go through some country roads all the way to Highway 1, which isn't too bad of a trip, or they go all the way down Edworthy here and then up to Highway 1, which really does cause a lot of traffic jams and car pileups. I mean, I've seen this left turning lane here go all the way back to here. Like, it just gets absolutely backed up. So during rush hour, I mean, this is absolutely brutal. Today, obviously, is not going to be very busy, But when you come and look at this red line here goes all the way back here, Sarcee Trail, and it goes all the way up around here in this corner, and even on this side as well. Like, it's absolutely brutal to deal with. So once this highway is built right here, the congestion in this intersection and this intersection will ease. But for now, that is a major con for me. That does also tie into some of the bottlenecks that I do see in this community. Now, they're not too bad, but they are persistent in some areas. I mean, there's a couple different traffic lights here that do get backed up, just because a lot of the main arteries going into the communities only really have 2 entry or exit points. Now, just like some of the other places in Northwest and North, there are some hills here. Now, these hills are not as bad as some of the ones in the Northwest. They are a little bit longer and more consistent, but depending on how comfortable you are driving, these hills can be a little bit more of a frustration for you if you have to consistently go up and down every single day for your commute to work. Now, this next con might not be a con for everyone, but really depends on your budget and how badly you want to be in West Calgary. But the homes are expensive here. So depending on what you want from your next house, you might be priced out of this market, where you can buy a very nice house or a moderate house in Southeast or Northwest compared to something like West Calgary. Now, one of the last cons I will touch on is just the lack of amenities for the northern portion of West Calgary. So I mean, if you're up here, Cougar Ridge, West Springs, kind of up in this area, and you need to go and get some groceries, I mean, you have to drive almost all the way down here or over here to this little section here. Now, it's not a crazy drive, but it does add on to your minutes every single day. When they do create this highway, I mean, there will be some really quick, easy access to Glenmore down here, but it still does add some complications or frustrations for people who are consistently going to the grocery store or consistently need to buy things for their house every single week. So that's it. That's my overview of West Calgary. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments, as I would like to continue to do this year over year as Calgary continues to grow. West Calgary is one of the nicest and of course most expensive quadrants in the city. So don't forget to check out my channel, as I do create other forms of informative content that will teach you all about Calgary real estate. So until next time, peace.